Hello everyone, it's Louisa, and in today's video we are going to be decluttering limiting beliefs that I personally gained from school. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate the support. And if you're new around here, hi! My name is Louisa, and I'm just a gal who loves to incorporate her childhood loves and hobbies into her adult lifestyle. And one of those loves is organizing, decluttering, all of that fun stuff. So I'm very excited for this video. I'm hoping this video is the start of a series that I've been wanting to do on my channel, and it's called Decluttering Limiting Beliefs. So what is a limiting belief, you might ask? Well, according to osana.com, the definition of a limiting belief is a state of mind or a belief that someone has about themselves that may restrict them. I'm paraphrasing, I'll put the actual definition here. So an example of this in terms of school would be a common one a lot of us have from school is I'm not smart. So if you had a limiting belief of I'm not smart, you may not apply for National Honor Society at your school because you may have the GPA for it, but you say to yourself, I'm not smart. Only smart people are in National Honor Society, so I'm not even going to try. That belief is restricting you from an opportunity that you may be qualified for. And so that's just one example, but we get limiting beliefs in various areas of our lives. And so today I'm going to be sorting through old school papers and stuff like that from high school and hopefully decluttering and working on seeing those limiting beliefs that I got when I was in school and work on enforcing the beliefs I have now about myself. I found out about limiting beliefs about 2 years ago, and I've been on a self-confidence journey ever since, and it has absolutely changed my life. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I hope that this can turn into a series that we all enjoy. I would love to do various areas of life in these various videos, but let's just go ahead and start with this one. Again, I am going to be decluttering stuff from high school. So I am super nostalgic. So I have a lot of my schoolwork. I do think it's fun to look at past projects and things after the fact, but keeping all of that stuff I can also keep maybe some not so fun stuff. So we want to get rid of the stuff that doesn't make us feel so good. So here's the stuff. Ooh. Let's get going. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk about, right now what I'm doing is I'm going through all of my papers and classwork that I have in here. So I finished my sophomore year of high school, and now I am in the middle of my junior year, or throughout my junior year coursework. And right now I'm looking at stuff from my Advanced American Lit class. And so we come across this essay. It's the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn essay, and I did pretty good on it. 95 out of 100 I can read. And so I was reading it and I was like, you know what? I don't need to keep this because it's not something I was super passionate about. I don't really remember Huckleberry Finn. I don't remember really thinking it's the best book since sliced bread. And so I don't need to keep writing or essays or work about stuff that I wasn't passionate about or didn't enjoy. So this will be recycled. So you don't have to keep things that you're not passionate about or you don't remember writing or just something, coursework that just doesn't stick with you. You don't have to keep any of that stuff. Speaking of Advanced American Literature, I am reading the final project that we did for that class that I remember very well, and it was called the Personal Identity Project. And so I'm reading through the whole thing, but the first part of the cover page, we had to include a quote that, where does it say? All projects must have a cover page, including a quotation from one work we have studied that you feel best exemplifies who you are. So I thought I would share this quote with you guys. I put for mine, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Thomas Paine, The Crisis. And I just think that's really fitting for a decluttering video. All the worth and sentimentality our items have are because of what we give to it. And if we get something so easily, it doesn't really mean a lot to us. It's stuff we had to work for, and that means a lot to us where it has value. So that quote is still fitting for me nearly 12 years later. This is also kind of fun because I get to go back and tell high school me fun stuff, and you guys can kind of get to know. But we had to talk about our background as part of the project, And I wrote, because of the fact I've lived in the same house for all my life, I'm very fearful of change. I know that deep down I would truly like to go out of state for college, but the thought terrifies me. KU sounds like the safer choice. As a child, I always wanted to move to Chicago. Nowadays, when I think about that, it terrifies me. How could I afford it? How could I manage that all on my own? I believe my location of the past 17 years has made me somewhat puritanistic, since I truly hate change, and it is extremely hard for me to step out of my comfort zone. Well, past me, you did go to college out of state. So, wanted to let you know that. And with the economy now in 2024, I too am like, Chicago, how could I afford it? It's a great city though, but I'm happy where I am in Kansas all as well. Next class that I went through papers for was my video production 1 class, and I kept 3 of the essays that we did because they're the 3 videos I remember watching. It's a Wonderful Life, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Psycho. So I remember watching all of those movies and the effect that they had on me. And so I kept those. And then I did get rid of the other ones because we also watched High Noon, had to do a paper on that. And we also watched In a Lonely Place. And is that it? And then we also watched M. And so though I do not remember those movies at all, they did not stick with me, so I got rid of those. Again, we're sensing a theme right now while cleaning out my papers. Just keep the stuff you're passionate about, or that you remember, or that stuck with you. Just keep that stuff. You don't need the extra. Fun fact, my junior year, I was on the school newspaper for the first semester because my plan for life was that I was going to go to college and major in journalism and become a reporter because I'm a Kit Rich girly. If you're an American Girl fan, you know. But then at the end of that semester, I was like such a Leo, and I was explaining to my newspaper teacher, she's like, why are you not doing newspaper next semester? And I was like, well, I don't really want to interview people. I would rather be interviewed, and I just don't have the passion for it. So we did have a professional reporter's notebook, and so I did go through here, and I did take out all of the anything I had written on in here. So the good news is that this can definitely be decluttered because someone could still use this, but nice. But again, stuff I kept from my school years, and being nostalgic, I was like, oh, remember that time when I was gonna be a newspaper person? Yep, I remember it. I don't need to anymore. And then what's interesting is I have the different stories I worked on and the interviews I did, and yeah, I'm just trying to think about like which ones I should actually keep. Like, okay, here are my newspaper articles that I wrote about, okay? Just in one semester. Why vote? Here's why. Seniors should embrace their first chance to hit the polls. So, telling seniors why they should vote in 2012. Get that. This is course name changes cause confusion. Yearly schedule chaos amplified this year due to changes of class names. Riveting subject. I remember asking could I work on that story and suggesting it, but clearly not really a big deal. Fall programs should better recognize all fall athletes. And I have an article where me and someone else reported Best of LHS, my high school 2012 edition, where people voted for things like best subject, best teacher, best club, best sport to watch, best grade, best school meal, best class, and best annual event. And then I will keep this one because this is my most important article. This was my elf experiment. Elf experiment takes interesting turn. An attempt at spreading holiday cheer goes sour when Buddy the elf goes missing. So, yes, I remember this article quite fondly. And there's a picture of Buddy. I'm going to read you guys this article about Buddy the elf because it's hilarious. And it might be the only article that I wrote for my school paper that I'll be keeping. But here you go. Enjoy. Call me Lady Whistledown with how scandalous this is. Elf experiment takes interesting turn. An attempt at spreading holiday cheer goes sour when Buddy the elf goes missing. By me. Once upon a November day, I was filled with a brilliant idea. I wondered if I could raise high school students' holiday spirit with a simple holiday contest that involved finding a cute little elf and being rewarded with candy. That is why I invited my new friend, Buddy Buddy the Elf, to come to LHS the week after Thanksgiving. I dubbed this idea the Elf Experiment. When I first launched the Elf Experiment, I figured it would generate some sort of buzz. Tweets, pictures, and many visits to the student council window proved my thoughts correct, but I had no idea the type of adventure I was actually in for. The first 3 days of the project went pretty well. Many students found Buddy Buddy, got their candy for revealing his location of the day, and were filled with holiday spirit. For the first couple days, the most trouble that Buddy Buddy went through was that someone put him in a headstand position. It was a good thing that Buddy Buddy had some natural flexibility. Generally, the student body was excited about the contest. 128 people officially came to the stucco window to receive candy during the first 3 days. But things took a turn for the scandalous on Thursday. See, this is what I'm talking about. Buddy Buddy was left in the robot news bin in the rotunda, his location for the contest that day. Maybe we decorated the news bins? My fellow colleague on staff had not had the time to collect Buddy Buddy after lunch, and thus he was left in the bin. Somehow, Buddy Buddy went from being in the news bin after school to the girls' restroom by the Latin teacher's room. Since our staff hadn't gotten a hold of Buddy Buddy, and because he was in the bathroom, he was not in his Thursday location for the contest, and chaos ensued. After talking to student council members and finding out that he was in the girls' bathroom, I searched every girls' bathroom at LHS. He was nowhere to be found. Buddy Buddy was officially missing in action. I tried to pick up any leads. It wasn't until the end of the day Thursday when a friend told me she had seen Buddy in a backpack that I had any clues as to where Buddy might be. Since it sounded like Buddy had gone home with someone else, the contest seemed like it was off for good. I began to go quite distraught. My adorable Buddy Buddy was gone. Would somebody really want to be that cruel to crush the rising holiday spirit? I didn't know what to think. Thankfully, during my newspaper hour on Friday, things changed. I found someone who had a lead. Freshman blah 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 had seen Buddy Buddy in a fellow classmate's backpack. He walked into his class and asked if anyone knew anything about Buddy Buddy the Elf. Apparently, Buddy Buddy was in a freshman's backpack. About 30 seconds later, he came back out with Buddy Buddy in hand and said, "Here you go." Buddy Buddy was officially back in my possession, and I was stunned by the turn of events. Although the contest ended up not occurring on Thursday and Friday, the experiment seemed to do its job. Holiday spirit was increased, according to many people, and even without Buddy, many students still enjoyed at least getting some sugar. And despite the fact that Buddy Buddy was taken, he was returned. I'm glad to say that LHS students are quite cheerful, and that when in doubt, they do the right thing. If that doesn't increase your holiday spirit, I don't really know what else will. Yeah, I think I'm getting rid of all my other articles. What more do you need? So I ended up keeping 3 of the articles I wrote. One because it's small and again has kind of my humor and sensibility. I did decide to keep the best of LHS one because at that point in time, out of people that were surveyed, those were their favorites at the school, so I decided to keep that. And then of course my Buddy Buddy article. So there you go. Again, there's a theme to this video and decluttering limiting beliefs, at least that I'm finding so far, and it's that I don't have to keep stuff that I'm not passionate about or that I don't like. Who would have thought? I think there's a part of me that was like scared to declutter or recycle or get rid of some of the articles I wrote because it's like this was the period in my life where I was convinced journalism was for me, and I wrote all of these things and I thought, I should keep them, like they're my works. But I've grown up and I've also seen that they're not as important to me that way. So I don't have to hold on to so many things. It's okay. I can let loose. Just a little bit. I kept only 2 papers from my math class my junior year, and I thought I'd share why. So this one is because I got an 18 out of 18, okay? When I was in high school, I believed I was terrible at math. I thought math is so hard for me. I remember I had dreams at night where I would do algebra in my head, and I wouldn't know if the answer or the work was right. And so math was something I really struggled with all throughout high school. And now I'm like, I've learned that was a limiting belief that I had, that I was not good at math. And now if I went to go do a math class, I'd be like, I am smart. I can do math. I just have to put my mind to it. And so I kept this because it was nice to have an 18 out of 18, because that didn't happen very often on my math papers in high school. And then I also kept this because I don't remember what any of this means. Sorry, the light when I'm filming this. There's pie, not like the food, but I thought I could like freak out my nephews with this and just be like, haha, figure this out. Yeah, looking back at high school math, I'm like, what even is this? My God, I don't understand, but it's cool to look at the whole thing, so. All right, so I've completed going through my junior year schoolwork. So this is all that's remaining, okay? And then previously I did my sophomore year stuff off camera. And so that's what that looks like. So I think kind of manageable for the nostalgic in me, okay? But yes, junior year, kind of an important year academically and just doing a lot of cool things. So I had to include that. Also, sorry, I'm filming this video later in the day, so I apologize for the sunshine, but oh well, I still want to film and declutter limiting beliefs. Okay, this is kind of something I'm not sure whether or not I should keep it or not. This is the PSAT for 2012. It's a test I took once, and I have like the book and everything, like with the work and the actual test and everything. And then I have my scores. And so like I can go back and look at the questions I got wrong, like it has the answers. So I could go back and look at that. I don't know if I ever actually have. And then the scores, I got a 68 on critical reading. It says you scored higher than 96% of juniors. Mathematics, I got a 48, and it says you scored higher than 48% of juniors. Interesting. And then I got, for writing skills, I got 58, and that says you scored higher than 86% of juniors. So again, this is going back to the limiting belief that I'm not good at math because my critical reading and my writing skills were way higher. So I was always like, I'm an English social studies girl. Math and science, no thanks. I'm not good at it. I don't know what this is, sorry. So I'm kind of like, okay, this is a test I took once. Like, it's not the ACT where I took it multiple times and really is what determined how I got into college, at least that particular test score. So I don't know whether or not I should get rid of this. So I'm going to put that in a I'm not sure pile, and then you guys in the comments can tell me whether or not I should keep that. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate your help. So I have no idea how long this video is. I've been working over here. I've been like reading my personal journals, and I wrote a lot. So I've been in the middle of that for quite a bit. So I don't know how much footage I have for this video. This video might kind of be short, but I think I'm gonna end it here because this is the first video of this kind, and I do hope to make more, but we're gonna stop there. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more. That would be really, really helpful down in the comments. So be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed. If you want more of me, you can find me on Instagram at louisa.ruby and on TikTok at LouiseQueen3. And I will see you all again soon with a brand new video. Bye.